I hope you're ready, because I'm ready. My Toshi hat is ready. All right. Let's do this. Okay. Hello and welcome to this very special class, Intro to Theosophy. What is it? I am Reverend Cherrie, and I will be teaching you today a little about me. I am finishing my 3rd degree with the Correllian Nativist tradition, the very same tradition that runs Witch School online. I have been with the tradition since 2004 and have many other lessons under my belt besides the core degree work I was required to fulfill. As a 3rd degree, we have several projects we must complete, and one of them is being to teach the public classes. So this class will be recorded, so please turn off all gestures, spankers, your microphone, and anything that would interrupt. Thank you. We have several points to go over today, and so to make sure you're having the full ability to pay attention, I'm hoping that you'll just take notes. For the end of the class, we'll have the Q&A time. You can have 10 minutes, or you can have 20, 30. It's all good. That's why I push it to the end. If the board in the front appears to you in white, please make sure your media is allowed and checked on in the volume box area, and also click the side of the slide board to see the slides. So there's going to be a lot of material to cover. Just write down your questions so you don't forget them, and I will not be taking questions during class. Sorry, it's going to be a really long one today. Kind of dry. Hope you got water, and thank you. Okay, let's get this second slide going. Oops. Okay, we're on slide 2. The word Theosophy, if I can even say it, Theosophy was sometimes interchangeable with theology, but even the root theos is there. We see logos, which means knowledge. Two are not the same, so there's theology and theosophy. But logos, or the logi in theology, is not the same. The first one, Theosophy, is a state of wisdom, and theology is a state of knowledge. A person who was wise in spirituality then would be called a theosophist, the Greek word for a theosophist. Theosophist. No. In Greek, it would be theosophos. Okay. The word theosopher became popular during the Renaissance when Christian mystics and philosophers like Jacob Boehm used the word to accentuate the wisdom given by their God to them. Divine inspiration, if you will. So he used the term theosopher in relation to those who obtained wisdom, and that wisdom was from the divine God. For their take on it would mean wisdom from God in a singular sense. And given this view, those who are prophets would then be theosophers. It was also used by Greek philosophers, hence its origin. As time went on, the word had fallen out of common memory, and it wasn't until the 19th century that it would reemerge. Helena Blavatsky, who eventually founded the Theosophical Society along with a few of her comrades, decided to bring this word back into public use. To her, this was a reincarnation of the same movement and idea of the Neo-Platonists, or Platonists. Those people who like Plato. Okay, got that. Theosophy is more so about the development of divine wisdom rather than the accumulation of knowledge that one has gained. It is not the wisdom we gain from experience, but the undertaking we do in order to awaken the divine wisdom as the divine lives within us. We can all agree that we are part of the cosmos and that the divine is not outside of us. So we work towards enlightenment, and this is the goal of the Theosophical Society and of Theosophy. Okay, just checking on something. The term Theosophy here is about a state of consciousness and the state in which you are in touch with your divine nature. Many call this divine nature the higher self. They would contact the gods through meditation or ritual, hence gleaning divine wisdom from them. This is how the word Theosophy comes across as information from the gods or wisdom about things that are divine. Theosophy is also used with the meaning of a body of teachings. When members of the Theosophical Society give teachings, these are considered modern theosophists. This is to say that the Theosophical Society is not the beginning of divine wisdom, and as well in the society, if the society, was not there, there would still be theosophical teachings. There are teachings that come from any wise person, regardless of religion or creed. A theosophist is wise at perceiving truth, not so much wise in knowledge alone, because there is a clear difference between studying description about truth and perceiving it. Experiencing it is much different than sharing a description. We are limited as far as sharing is concerned to the words we know. And truth itself is beyond any spiritual teaching. The teachings within the Theosophical Society are like a map in which we are guided to our own inner exploration of ourselves. It is there to help speed up the process, to guide us on a safe path, and make it less confusing. The map is not the end goal, but a way to get along on our journey. There are aspects that may be important to one of us and other aspects which may be important to others. With this being said, it can almost seem as though the different theosophists are being contradictory with each other's descriptions. What is most important is the spirit of truth that comes across and is intuitively sensed. Under the theosophical teachings, there is not only the modern, but the universal teachings. Modern teachings present a holistic worldview, embracing differences and similarities. Theosophy is working more with a conceptual, rational level to understand our world. Religion is based on divine revelation, and science by experimentation based on our senses. Once upon a time, there was no separation of these three, and all of these techniques would be done at the same time. But over time, they would begin to specialize and separate on their views and pull away into their own specialties. Having a religious view alone harbors the possibility that one will feel threatened by theosophy or by science. It is a limiting view and is not fertile to awakening one's inner innate wisdom. Thus, the same goes for only a science view. However, only theosophy can become limiting as well, with only speculation guiding where it falls out of line with life and reality. So, what the teachings tell us is what we need to do is integrate these point of views. Oopsie, sorry. Okay. A popular book was written by Blavatsky, The Secret Doctrine, which has the subtitle The Synthesis of Science, Religion, and Theosophy, and is a main staple of teaching still today. This book shows us through her work that she gained knowledge not by books, but by the state of consciousness that Tibetan monks had taught her how to reach. It also shows us that there's experimentation within which lends to the scientific portion of this wonderful grouping. Okay. We have the collective unconscious. I'm sure that a lot of you are familiar with this. Now let's take a brief look into the collective unconscious, a concept developed by Carl Jung, a Swiss psychiatrist, psychoanalyst who founded analytical psychology. He was once a fond follower of Freud, as was most but over time, Jung came to his own conclusions and methodology through his own research about the unconscious. Jung found that across many cultures and belief systems, there were similar patterns. These patterns consistently revealing themselves made him realize that there is indeed synchronicity among them and that the myths must hold relevant truths. One of these recurring motifs was the mandala, a sacred symbol across many beliefs. It is found in the frescoes of the churches, Hindu practices, and yoga practices as well. It is a geometrical graphical representation of the self. It can be square, but it is typically circular in shape. When a mandala appears within a dream, it is telling us to focus on bringing the unconscious into the conscious. Simply put, it is to become who we should be, the unique person reaching their potential. And through his collective unconscious, we see archetypes. These archetypes live within us, all of them, and are subconscious until they are realized consciously. These are the possibilities of what we can be, and our experiences will shape us into one or more of these archetypes. Jung brought this idea into the world of 12 archetypes, which are as follows. Instead of reading just the separate 12, I will read them with their breakdown of qualities, which is on the screen. Okay, I want to see where it ended there. Okay, so we have the sage. The sage is a free thinker. Intellect, knowledge is their purpose. They seek to understand the world and their being through analytical skills. They always have a fact or a quote that comes quickly. The innocent, optimistic, always searching for happiness, sees the good in everything. They want to feel well adjusted to the world, please others, and feel like they belong. The explorer is a bold traveler with no clear path, open to novelty and adventure, loves new places and new things about themselves, always seeking perfection and not easily satisfied. We have the ruler, a leader, brings order to any situation, strives for excellence, wants people to follow. Their desire to impose the rules on others can easily turn into tyrannical ways. And with everything we know, there is a light side and a shadow side, or a positive and a negative, however you like to term that. The creator. Desires freedom, loves novelty, transforms things into new, clever ways, not nonconformist, self-sufficient, imaginative, good-humored, can be inconsistent, and spend more time thinking than actually getting the things done. The caregiver, maternal-like protection, stronger feelings than others, wants people to be happy and protects that happiness, but can turn themselves into a martyr. We have the next slide, the magician. Revolutionary, regenerates themselves and others, always growing and transforming. The downside, they can turn positive events into negative ones, and their mood is contagious. So if they're in a bad mood, everybody's in a bad mood. The hero. Center of the hero is power, vitality, resistance, doing anything to avoid losing, overly ambitious but controlling. The rebel. Transgressor, provokes people and doesn't care about others' opinions, goes against the grain, thinks for themselves, and does not like pressure or influence. They can become self-destructive. The lover, all heart and sensitivity. They love to love and lavish love upon people. Happy when feeling loved. Enjoy all that is pleasing to their senses. Value beauty above all. We have the jester. Likes to laugh even at themselves. They do not wear a mask. They break down others' walls, never really serious, and their goal is to enjoy life. Their negatives are lewd, lazy, and greedy. And finally, we have the orphan. Walks around with open wounds, feels betrayed and disappointed, wants others to take charge of their life, and upset when nobody wants to do that for them. Congregates with others like them, and plays the victim pretending to be innocent, but they are cynical and manipulative. Blavatsky suggested that there is a transmental dimension, or the dimension of truth. If one can raise their consciousness realizing aspects of truth, and because of this, there will be many realizations in different cultures at different times that are similar, all of which are aspects of truth. Blavatsky also told us that there was one religion in the beginning, the wisdom religion, when humans held the same view on humans and the universe. And over time, that things changed based on diversity of language, community, culture, and over time, the other religions formed. They were formed by fears, desires, inspirations, in essence, whatever the community needed. There's an underlying truth in each religion, but the spiritual teachers will emphasize what that particular community will need more than other truths. When the enlightened teachers pass on, then it is up to those who follow to teach everyone. Even though they may be sincere, they will not share the same wisdom. That is what happens. And then mistakes happen, superstitions develop, manipulation for power kicks in, and then there is still the eternal truth, but there's a muddling of smoke covering the truth. The Theosophical Society wants to promote finding these eternal truths, which are in all religions. It is the first organization of its kind to do these comparative type studies of religions. It is the goal of the Theosophical Society to find the commonalities because they believe that all of the different religions lead to the same place. It has always been that they have always looked at the commonalities so that we can learn from all religions and modify them to our own path. Excuse me. The occult science. The word occult has its roots in the Latin occultus, meaning hidden or secret, and that's why it can also be used as a noun referring to magic and an adjective meaning difficult to see. The phrase occult science was coined by Blavatsky in order to designate the force of nature, aka the universe, and its manipulation of it. It also says as well that there is a latent nature within humans to perceive it, the force of nature. It is this extrasensory perception that is tested consistently for accurate results. Training can enhance perception and it can be used in a scientific manner. The method is scientific but applied to non physical realities. In her writings, she mentions that occult science is a real and very dangerous science. She writes that for this reason, it should be hidden from the selfish and the ignorant. It was her fear that knowledge such as this would turn the divine science into something black and negative by the aforementioned folks. Her writings and those of the Kabbalah seem abstruse to those who are not adept. The adept can perform what seems like miracles to the uninitiated, but every act is based on the laws of nature, whether or not modern science knows of them. Blavatsky wrote so much on the universe, the solar system, the atom, gravitation, etc., that she was mocked and considered controversial for the content. Needless to say, that her thoughts were proved by science many years later. These writings were in her book, The Secret Doctrine, in 1888 when it was published. And one example is the ever growing universe constantly expanding outward. It wasn't until some 30 years later that she would be found to be correct by Einstein and then Edward Hubble. Impressive. Esoteric philosophy. It is defined as the study of the fundamental nature of knowledge, reality, and existence, especially when considered as an academic discipline. Within the the Theosophical Society, this definition is extended to a phrase frequently used in theosophical literature to refer to a body of knowledge about the cosmos, the divine, and the human being, and does not take into account only their visible aspect, but more predominantly their invisible, metaphysical, or spiritual dimension. Although some tenets of this philosophy have been made public, its real teachings are known only to initiates. It is said that the views of the universe, the purpose of life, and the aim of life all came with direct experience. According to Madame Blavatsky, the esoteric philosophy is a form of objective idealism, the metaphysical view of which Plato is regarded as one of the earliest representatives in the West. This view is different from the subjective idealism of, for example, George Berkeley, the Anglo-Irish philosopher who postulated that no real objects exist, but only minds and mental content. Objective idealism, while accepting that ultimately speaking, everything we perceive is an illusion, still regarded as objective, the relationship between different entities themselves being illusory. Wow. In Theosophy, you listen to the truths and perceive how they might fit your life. There's no one telling you how to believe. There's no hierarchy of priests. There's no ceremonies. Just you and the truth. It is not a religion. It isn't even a philosophy or a science. Philosophers will tell you in a speculative way how a thing happened, but a theosophist is not a philosopher. They can experiment, but they are not scientists, as that is based on the material thing. Blavatsky said, "There's a pattern, and once we see it, we can see how all the elements fit within it. It is a synthesis, just as the color white is embracing all the colors. So too is theosophy of all religions, not fragments." Oh, you're gonna love this, guys. Pop quiz! I know you're groaning on the other side of your microphone. Let's see how many people were awake for this class. There's no grading. This is just some memory recall fun. I'm passing out the note card with the questions, and you can grade yourselves later when I reveal the answers. I'll give you about 10 minutes for this, and in the meantime, let me get this. Copy. Hopefully we don't have a commercial here. What in the hey diddle diddle? That didn't work. I'm trying to get you all some good little relaxing study music. Just give me a moment. Sorry. I don't know why that won't copy proper. I need some Jeopardy music or something right now. As the browser loads. No, yeah, no. Yeah, because I went to put in the thing for YouTube that I saved, and apparently it didn't like it. Let's see. Oh, no. Yes. Oh, no, this is crazy. Here, this must be it. Is this about 10 minutes? Yeah, it didn't want to come off of my, notes. So, it's being uphill. That's for, here it is. I really searched hard for you guys for this music, so. All right. Here.
Looking for royalty-free music? Discover.
I cannot see it. Yes, I can't see it yet. Hold on. Oh boy. Skip ad. Okay. Let's rope it back in. Apparently, I'm missing a card. Oh no. So let's do this. Let me get this for you real quick. How did I miss a card? Oh no. Yes. Okay, you know what? I'm going to do something different. I'm going to ask you the questions. Oh my gosh. Are you ready? Everybody's mics down. All you need to do is A, B, C, or D. Sometimes you will have answers that are more than one answer for a question, okay? So if you open up a note card or you got a pen and paper, just A, B, C, or D, or more than one, and then there's some true and false. Okay. Keep that low. Play. Why are you so far behind? Okay. The first question is the word Theosophy can be translated as select one or more. A, love for God. B, divine wisdom. C, love for wisdom. Or D, all of the above. Let's see if I can get this copied for you. You can get in the chat. Oh my goodness, I got too many windows open. Gotta write it for yourself, Lily. Okay. Thank you. There is the first question. I don't know what happened. My note card went poof. That's not working either. You know what? I'm going to make you guys a note card so you can just focus on that. It ate my note card because SL is trickster, but I will get it done. So we can do this. We can work around issues. We have abilities. We will just make another card. I just have to take the answers off. So give me 1 second. It's really just for fun. So don't get stressed out about it. Maybe it's dry fun, but it's still for fun. And then you could, if I modify it, make it modifiable, then you can put your answers or highlight, or well, you can't highlight in here. Put a mark next to one you think it is, and then we'll go over the answers together. Because, like I said, I'm not grading, just for fun. Almost there, almost there. You could tell I'm starting to lose my voice, huh? All right. Thank you for being patient with me, and SSL wants to do everything to me every time I have a class. One of these days, I will trick SL into not messing me over. But until then, when I can figure that out. Right. Okay, great. We're going to save. And make sure you can modify. Okay. And share with you all. And then we could do this the way I originally intended. Oh, I'm not going to give one to Toshi because she's busy. There you go. Okay, let's try this one more time with feeling. Okay, so come on, go to the beginning. Now, we've got approximately 10 minutes to do this cute little quiz that you guys got. And I'll play this and I'll be quiet for about 10 minutes. Give or take a minute. Okay? pencils down. All right. I try to give you a good amount of time. I don't know about you, but today, really, I don't know about you, but today I'm exhausted. So forgive me for sounding that way, but yeah, I am. Okay, let's go. First question. Did you get B, divine wisdom? Cool. And this? Ah. And this is an explanation of why it is B. Because the wisdom in things divine, divine wisdom, wisdom of the gods. And Theos means God. Sophia means wisdom. Did I not put that in there? Because if I didn't, then don't give yourself a whole point off. All right. Number 2. Number 2 is this. It is a state of wisdom. Theosophy is used to denominate. Wow. Yeah, I think I need a nap, guys. Says true theosophical teachings are not the outcome of reasoning or an item of faith, but the wisdom that comes when we awaken our divine nature. Teachings are not offered to be acquired as spiritual knowledge, but as a guide for people to get in touch with divine wisdom. So theosophical teachings are there for you to be awakened to your divine wisdom. Okay. The next one. The word theosophy was used by whom? It was used by some Christian mystics and some Greek philosophers. And theosophical teachings are against organized religion. That's what it said. I took this quiz, guys. I took 3 of them. So these are coming from like the first 2. So if you decide to go into these classes, you're ahead of the game. I believe I might have left this explanation in for they are against organized religion being false. Okay, that's where that came from. Boy. As time passes, the original religious teachings tend to accumulate superstitions, errors, and misunderstandings. The theosophical teachings do not aim at denigrating religions, but rather recovering their original purity. So they are not against organized religion. Nix that spacing on Google Docs. Thanks, Google Docs. I love you. All right. We have another true or false. They are a philosophy. The answer to that is false. And the explanation is, although they deal with philosophical matters, they are not offered as a form of speculation, which is what philosophy does, or to provide intellectual knowledge. Theosophists are encouraged to experience the teachings and seek to produce a spiritual transformation within themselves. And that's the answer for that one. So that was false. We have 2 more. I could use some water right about now. Theosophical teachings are said to be scientific. If you said yes, true, you are right. because some of the theosophical teachings, such as the divisibility of atoms, have been proven true by science, while others remain to be verified. However, these teachings are not scientific in the regular sense of the word. They are part of what Blavatsky called occult science. Yay for Blavatsky! And last but not least, we have the last question: define occult. And if you said hidden or secret, you were correct. The word occult has its roots in Latin occultus, meaning hidden or secret. Sorry. Oh, wait. We had one more? Oh, Lord, I'm so sorry. Okay. The last one. No, not paste. Which one does not wear a mask? If you said jester, you are correct, which is really interesting because jesters are very clown-like in a way. They like to laugh at themselves. Oh, there's no grading, just memory recall. Take some ginseng biloba or below whatever, and you'll be fine. So our summary is Theosophy is a very deep subject, and much more than I anticipated. I took it upon myself to enroll in the Theosophical Society's online course just for this class. There are 8 units in total, and they're about 4 to 8 pages each unit, and approximately 3 quizzes for each unit. And this is just for the intro to Theosophy. A lot of the information obtained stemmed from one unit, so you can see how deeply this topic is just for the introduction to what Theosophy is. However, not all the information provided here was in one neat little unit. I was led down a rabbit hole several times for several days for long periods of time. This class barely even scratched the surface of the topic. It's so lightly scratched that a decent wax could buff it. Okay? And I have like a chair imprint on my butt from sitting so many days. If you're interested or just even curious, you will find my citations very helpful. I want to thank the School of Theosophy Help Desk for help guiding me towards the correct materials regarding occult science. It is not really clear and apparent within the classes. I also want to thank you for participating in my class today. And if you have any questions, you may do so now in chat or in voice. Thank you. And thank you with your patience for me. This this is a really tiring day for me. You're welcome. Thank you for coming. If you have any questions that I could possibly answer, please feel free to question me. Thank you. Thank you for that. Your Levin Lindens. Lister. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I picked a topic I didn't know, and this was the one. Um, so it really is deep. And if you're interested to go to the Theosophical Society, they do have online classes for free. So have a good night, Plum. Thank you for coming. Cool. Go ahead, Lister. You can have the floor. That's good. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Right? Oh, and they say it takes a year and a day, but let me tell you, when life gets in the way, it does not. Does not. Been years. I'm ready to go. Let's go. Give it to me now. Um, thank you. Thanks, Terry. Thank you. Oh, thank you for coming and sitting on the floor for me. Oh, thanks for coming. I think I want one. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.